Hey, what's up everybody? It is Chris, and today I wanted to show you some of the new assets that I've allocated to my fractional box. Some of these are things that I already had, as well as adding additional fractional to the box. The key here for me is this box, and I want to have a few of them. Ideally would be about around a $10,000 value within the fractional box. That sounds like a lot from a dollar perspective, but as you know, with the metals, it really just ends up not being that much in physical metals, especially when you have a mix of gold, platinum, and palladium. It starts to add up very quickly. But what I've done is take some of the 10th ounce from one of my other stashes and decided that I'm going to allocate that to the fractional box. This one here, 10th ounce Philharmonic. These guys, when you see them in person, when you have them, they're actually, I mean, the price is usually right on the Philharmonics if you can get your hands on them. These guys tend to go on sale pretty often, and they're honestly not a bad pickup as far as price to value. At the end of the day, it's gold is gold. Now, are they as nice as, say, something like the gold maple? Maybe not. I mean, again, the maple, whether it's the 10th, the quarter, the value proposition on these bad boys, when you look at them, it's a nice, solid bullion piece. And especially in gold, I mean, what doesn't look good in gold? Let's be realistic. But the Philharmonic, give it some credit. I mean, it is pretty ornate for being, you know, just a small bullion piece. And I like it. You know, I don't mind it. Now, as you've seen before, my platinum, a lot of it's going to be Britannias. Why? Platinum Britannias, you can get good prices on these guys. This is the 1/10. Obviously, with fractional, again, we all know the downside is that, you know, you're paying a lot in premium for having fractional. But if you're like me and, you know, you have some other pieces that are fractional, but, you know, much higher in cost, like this per 10th, 3rd ounce of Platinum Penguin, the cost can start adding up pretty quickly. So, you know, once you get into things like this, it's probably better to stick with the generic bullion for the most part. These guys here, these guys, the Krugerrand, you get a lot of mixed reviews from people because for whatever reason, the Krugerrand, even though it's not the most desirable, I would say, generally speaking, in the stacking community, price-wise, you know, sometimes you can get some good deals on the Krugerrand. And the great part about it is, just like the American Eagle, I think it's basically the same alloy as the Eagle. I feel comfortable handling it versus just like the normal bullion coins, like, of course, the maple, things like that. Whereas, I don't know why, when I look at this, I feel like it's, you know, soft. Even when I, you know, pick up the ones it's still inside the package, like this guy over here, I feel like, you know, these kind of things are more fragile than this. What's the reality? Probably something in between. I mean, the bottom line is you shouldn't be handling gold with your bare hands. It kind of is what it is. Sorry. But, you know, even guys like this is actually something, the Canadian Bear, that I got at a very good price on one of the APMEX deals, I think it was, or JM Bullion. And it was actually cheaper than the other 10th ounce coins. But throwing those into my stack definitely helps build out, again, that $10,000 goal. Reality, yeah, you could just throw 5 ounces in there and call it a day, but that wouldn't be fractional now, would it? Things like this, I've been looking at my Assayed bars, this one's platinum, of course, and deciding whether I would like to put those into the fractional box or if I want to keep those with my bar collection separately. I think what's going to end up happening is I'm going to end up putting some of that into the fractional box, because if it's like the 5 gram or 10 gram, some of those, since they're not, you know, whole ounces, it's kind of like an odd lot sitting there to the side. So I might end up allocating those guys to the fractional box as well. This is the only representation of palladium that I have so far. These guys are the Valcambi 1 ounce card. These are 2 wafers off of that card for palladium. But with the way that palladium's been rising, I mean, even if you have a little bit of it, that's definitely more than most. Even more than most stackers. Most stackers don't have any palladium. So the fact that you can get your hands on a couple wafers, I mean, who doesn't want that? letting people know that you're on the map as far as the Palladium stack. But those small additions to my stack, I mean, that's basically like another $1,000 that I've allocated to, actually it's more than that. It's probably around $1,200 to $1,500 worth of additional fractional that I've allocated in here. One of the favorites is always the kangaroo. This guy, I believe, is a 2018, 2019, something like that. I tried to take a look at the date, which is up in the left-hand corner, the bottom left, under the larger kangaroo's foot. Yeah, it's pretty small. So taking a look at that was straining my eyes, and I didn't have my loop handy. But I believe it's a 2018 or 2019 kangaroo. The key with each of these, and yes, I understand, I need to get a different coin holder for these, more appropriate, something like these guys. Probably order a bunch of them. But having this fractional box really for me is going to give me a lot of flexibility as far as like either trading for silver. You know, if there comes a time where silver reaches, I mean, gold reaches like three grand, something like that, maybe I take one of these guys and trade it for like a 10-ounce bar, something like that. If silver's at like 30 or 35, you know, making trades like that becomes easier. Also, if you're a believer that you know, gold and silver will appreciate over time, with gold, platinum, and palladium, to me, a little bit more stability in the gold. But with the platinum especially, the more that I can get of that inside my my fractional box, to me it's going to provide value over time, because I still feel like platinum is definitely under valued at the moment. So pretty excited to add, you know, different things over time, whether they're, you know, the Krugerrand, which is not necessarily the most beloved in the stacking community. Let's really zoom in on this guy. 1980. That's a good year. That's a good year in Napa Valley, California. Go ask anybody who knows. But those kind of things, whether it's just a quarter or a 10th ounce at a time, that's real value in something like this. And having that type of value, again, provides you stability in the long run and a lot of flexibility, because it's not whole ounces at a time. It's not $2,000 that you're parting with if you decide to sell or trade. So I think this kind of thing is going to provide me a lot of value over the long run, and hopefully you enjoy my additions to my box. That's it for today. Take care.